doesn't want to take his medication orally, I'm sure we can arrange that he can have it some other way.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for a Nurse News Now special report.
Good day. It's Nurses with Mustaches here, coming to you live with my partner, Alexa Longarms.
How you doing?
This just in, another incident occurred in the building today. Bullying.
What's bullying?
What's bullying? A bully is defined as a person who harms or intimidates someone perceived as vulnerable, typically to coerce them. The words bully or bullying may conjure up the image of a school playground, or more recently, images of kids being abused through social media or other cyber settings. But bullying is not limited exclusively to young victims. In fact, it has a long, storied history in the profession of nursing, complete with axioms such as nurses eat their young.
Oh, nurses eat their young? Must be more prevalent than we thought.
Far more prevalent indeed, Alexa Longarms. According to a study in 2019 by Edmondson and Solanka, nurse bullying is well documented in clinical settings. Studies have shown that 78% of nursing students have experienced bullying starting in nursing school. In addition, 60% of nurses leave their job within the first 6 months due to their coworkers' behavior.
Oh wow, that is just crazy. Because the nursing degree is already one of the hardest to achieve. I wonder if the bullying that occurs can result in concerns in the clinical setting.
Right? In the clinical setting. This video was actually submitted by one of our viewers. Now, what you might see could alarm you, but we assure you that no one was harmed or injured in this video.
What are you guys doing this weekend? I'm actually gonna go hiking with some friends.
Oh, cool. Red Rock?
Mm-hmm. And you?
Yeah, I'm gonna catch up on Squid Games.
Nice.
Oh, I heard that's really good.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take the kids to Disneyland.
Oh, fun.
I got some tickets and stuff on the radio station, so I'm just gonna go to Disneyland.
Hey guys, can I get someone to help me with a lift?
So there's like the new Star Wars, like Rise of the Resistance or something, so I'm just
Hey,
gonna take those.
guys, can I get someone to
Yes,
help me with
someone
a
will
lift?
be there in a minute. Just give us a second. We're busy. Thanks. Always ask for help. Always. I'm not going.
Yeah. No, let's take a photo, because I don't wanna go either.
Paper, rock, scissors.
Oh.
Haha.
I don't wanna beat her.
Are you ready for me? You always need help for everything. What are we doing?
Just need to get him up in the bed. I just didn't want to hurt my back.
Oh, well, get a back raise. Come here. They have some on Amazon. Not that expensive. This is this guy's problem anyways.
COPD.
Oh. Huh? Ready? 1, 2, 3. I mean, come, did you do it right? I don't think you did it right. Where did you go to
The wrong way.
school? Oh my gosh, he can't do anything by himself. He's so annoying.
Oh, I
It was
know.
just the worst. And he wasn't even that heavy. The worst.
Yeah, nah, you got the bad part of it. I don't wanna work with him.
I know. How can we get rid of him?
Oh, we're live! We're live! We're on air! We're live! Oh, wow. That was an awkward video to watch of bullying.
Just unbelievable. We actually have a guest in the studio with us today. Nikki, charge nurse from CSN Hospital, is here to talk about bullying in the workplace.
Hi, Nikki. It's good to have you with us today and talk about something that greatly impacts the quality of nursing care. You're here to talk about bullying in the workplace. Tell us a little more about the general issue.
Hi Kendall, hi Alexa, thank you for having me. As a charge nurse, I want to focus on my patients and make sure my staff has what they need to be successful. Sometimes I feel like too much of being a mediator. Just the other day, I had a nurse cut in front of another at a water fountain and impatiently tapped her feet at the other and said, "Don't be tapping your last seasons at me, honey." It's frustrating sometimes. One time, we went through a phase where a group of nurses were critical of other nurses just because they didn't wear pink scrubs. They just kept repeating, on Wednesdays we wear pink. You know, the unfortunate idiom nurses eat their young has been used for more than 30 years.
That's so interesting. What's your experience as far as how this affects medication administration and clinical outcomes?
Well, the report from the Joint Commission showed that uncivil behavior in the healthcare setting could lead to medical errors, poor clinical outcomes, low patient satisfaction, and increased cost of care.
Great insight. What else does the Joint Commission say about this, say in regards to specifically morale and productivity?
Well, the impact of bullying behaviors on the organization are lower morale, lower productivity, and increased absenteeism due to physical, psychological, and emotional harm, followed by rapid and increased turnover, which compromises patient safety. Workplace bullying also leads to lawsuits, compensation for disability, loss of profits, negative impact on organizational reputation, and a corrosion of the patient to healthcare worker relationship.
Wow, all great information. So, bullying in the workplace affects morale, productivity, safety. There can be higher costs and even lawsuits.
Yeah, great information. Glad that we had Nikki in the studio today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, guys.
We have a few nurses with us here today who have personally been bullied in the workplace. We've altered their appearance to protect their identities. We want to thank them for being here and speaking out about their experiences. We understand it must be hard, but appreciate their bravery in confronting these issues. First, we have Nurse Blazer. Can you share some insight as to what made you interested in nursing? What's some experiences you've had about nurse bullying, and why is this a concern for you?
Yes, I want to begin by saying that I am no longer a registered nurse. I'm currently a fitness instructor at CSN Fitness. Because you have to realize that even nurses who love their jobs and who are able to handle the physical and mental demands that can be driven out by a toxic work environment. It is high time we consider the consequences of a nurse's exodus from the profession. It is projected that the profession will lose a third of its workforce in 10 to 15 years due to retirement. And in the face of a growing, aging, and a sicker boomer generation, the present nurse turnover nationally is between 8 to 40%, a cause for concern of a future nursing shortage. I didn't go to nursing school to be bullied or to be taught how to be bullied. Currently, nurses were interested in nursing for the same reasons. Now we are disinterested because we are being bullied.
Thank you. Nurse Ice, can you tell us how bullying has affected your workplace?
I wanted to be part of a team, but I can't tell you how much stress and anxiety every day I go through. Being the victim of bullying and watching other people get bullied. I recently was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. I'm on Ambien and Cymbalta and Valium. I'm chewing pills just to make my way through day after day. I might have to switch units just for my mental health. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to continue where I'm at.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. We've heard of a lot of bravery from all of our victims today. We appreciate all the sharing. Throughout this report, we have learned the impact of harassment and negativity from fellow coworkers and how huge that can be. It's not just for the victim's mental health, but there's really an umbrella effect outward to their bedside practice and interaction with others. We've talked about the significance and how it can affect productivity. We see turnover, patient safety is affected, and it makes for an unprofessional work environment.
Here to talk about ways to resolve this issue is expert Sarah, registered nurse, in the beaches of Hanalei Bay.
I'm a placeholder.
That was a lot of great insight from our first expert, Nurse Sarah. Now we send it over to our next expert, Nurse Jesus, to share some insight on interventions that he would like to implement to alleviate bullying in the workplace.
Thank you for having me. My name is Nurse Jesus. I will be discussing some interventions that will be implemented to prevent bullying. I will begin by addressing the nurse managers. Nurse managers should make impromptu visits, engage with different employees at different levels to find out how they are finding the job and how they are doing overall, which provides an opportunity for disclosure of bullying. The nurse managers should also ensure they have regular presence on the units. The nurse managers should also make observations on employee interactions, provide and encourage an open communication by, for instance, providing their contact information to be available at the nursing station and maybe the company website for the employees to be able to reach them and file their grievances on issues such as bullying. The other intervention addresses the company at large. The company should ensure that all the employees are well appraised of the fact that they are a zero tolerance to bullying organization. These should be included in the patient orientation, and the employees should be constantly reminded this through their various company workshops and continued education, which every employee is assigned. The employee should also sign a workplace agreement where they be provided a copy of this, and a template of this agreement should be available in the company website, where the employees vow to uphold the company culture of teamwork and professional collaboration. In addition to this, the culture of see something and say something should be instituted, which eliminates a bystander effect, where both the victims and the witnesses to bullying are encouraged to speak up against bullying. Lastly, the victims should be encouraged to keep a log of a bullying incident, and they could also file an incident report. Well, thank you.
Last but not least, we have Nurse Paula to talk about how staff members can remain compliant with these interventions.
Hi, Nurse Paula here, and I'm here to talk to you about how we ensure that our staff members remain compliant with these new interventions. First off, we really like to promote random acts of kindness. We do this through gift card incentives, Employee of the Week recognition, stuff like that. And that just really promotes that good behavior between peers and charges and managers and physicians in the workplace. We also like to do a pre-shift huddle where we talk about a motivating story or experience, and I feel like that just really sets the tone for the workday. We also have an anonymous suggestion complaint box where you can report bullying that you've witnessed, report bullying that you've heard about, or even report bullying that you've been experiencing yourself. And while we do promote good behavior, we do reprimand that bad behavior. We do have a 3-strike rule in place. And lastly, we do have monthly non-mandatory social events such as dinner, ice cream socials, bowling, even group classes that really promotes that bonding between the coworkers in the workplace.
Today, we covered bullying and more specifically, workplace bullying for nurses. We have learned how bullying can affect nurse morale, productivity, patient safety, and turnover.
We've heard testimonies from victims of bullying, learned some expert interventions and recommendations. Now we understand the seriousness of this issue.
You all have a good night, and thank you for tuning in to CSN TV.
Thank you.
That was so cute.
Make sure this is okay. Oh, excuse me, miss. Miss, we've had reports that you've been bullying the nurses in the workplace. Can you comment, please?
No comment.
No, miss.
Can you get away?
This impairs productivity. This impairs productivity.
Says who? Says who?
This is hurting the morale of your unit. Please, miss.
Can you
talk on this, miss? Please. This hurts the morale of the unit.
I'm gonna call the police. Just leave me alone.
Miss, we had a charge nurse say that they're at risk for lawsuits at the hospital. This is hurting. This
I already told you no comment.
patient safety. Patient safety. Miss, please.
No one's died.
Please, miss.
No one has died.
That's the best we could do. We couldn't catch up with her. We'll try again and follow up later in the report.
Oh, we're not gonna keep going?
I don't know. Do we keep going?